All right, Fab Krslovic. I now know how to pronounce his name a little better, but he just joined the show. They joined us live from Jack's room. They brought up two seats as opposed to one. Shared a microphone, but nah, it was great. It's always good getting. We're getting a few more guests on, so thanks for letting your housemate join the show.
It was an awesome time. We played some trivia. We had some laughs. We talked about winning culture. Hope you guys are having a great day. Enjoy the listen.
Basketball is my life. I have nothing else.
This is incredible. This is the best game before I've ever heard.
Shooters. That's what we do.
Shooters, a basketball podcast. Let's go.
Enter, Fab. Enter to my domain.
Oh, you really? Give me a good shout.
Yeah, of course.
Come into the studio.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm excited.
I'm
good.
Look at this. Look at this. Two people in the hot seat. Love it.
I know.
Oh, this is beautiful.
It's pretty exciting.
Look at that. Look at the handshake.
Yeah.
Well, we are live. We would like to welcome the one and only Fabijan to the Shooters podcast, housemate, champion, elite basketball player, all of the above. Welcome to the show, Fab.
No, thanks, Jack. You know, I hear a lot of it going on when it's being filmed from outside in the hallway, so it's good to be this side of the room and in front of the camera.
Fab, my first question is how many episodes of this have you honestly listened to?
Fully. Ooh,
Yep.
I think one fully,
Oh.
and then I get clips. I don't
That's
see them,
alright.
but honestly, yeah. I'm not the best. Again, I'll listen to this one hopefully.
No, it's fine.
I'm contributing, but yeah.
It's fine. And I had a second question. How do you actually pronounce your name? For all the commentators out there, we wanna get it 100%.
100. Well, super proper is
Yeah.
Fabijan Krslovic.
Okay.
I will take Fabijan Krslovic.
I will accept others.
Yes.
Other
Can you,
variations.
Darren, we're going to put you on the spot. Can we give you that first attempt of the
I like
proper
that.
pronunciation of the name?
Well, look, if you asked me before you said that, I probably am still going to say the same thing, but it would just be Fabijan Krslovic.
No, I'm not too much of a stickler, but there's no J. It's just
Oh,
Fabijan.
yeah, I stuffed that up. Fabijan.
Yeah. It's
Like
in there. It's written in there, but just ignore it. It'll
Like a
help.
Y?
Yeah.
Fabijan?
Fabijan. Yeah.
Let's just go Fab. That's good.
Fab. Beautiful.
Fab works perfect. Well, let's jump straight into it. So, a little bit of a resume builder, Fab. New South Metro boy, winner.
Yep. Won twice.
Yep. Under 19s world, silver medal.
17s.
17s,
Silver.
silver.
19s, I think we came fourth.
Yep. Elite at the world competition. Went to college, won then as well.
Yep. Won my senior year. We won our conference tournament, and then my freshman sophomore year we lost in the championship game, but I think we were minor premiers both those years.
Yep. And then so we jump to the pros, where you started out as a development player in Cairns, played a couple minutes there, and then grabbed a roster spot for 2 years.
Yep. It was a 2-year deal.
2-year deal. And then in that played playoff basketball, came down to JackJumpers, and out of your 6 years as a pro, you've been in the playoffs 3 times.
That's correct. Five completed years is going in the year 6.
Yep,
So
going.
decent percentage. 3
100
out of 5.
100%. So what we're jumping in here is you've been a winner your whole life. And now with that, you've been on some teams that have lost in the NBL. So we're going to start it off with some kind of culture and basketball questions. What do you think, for you, separates some of those teams when it comes to winning and it comes to those teams that you've been on that haven't been as good?
The first thing, and what I think of the most, is just how teams go about solving problems. And, you know, everything going into a season, I'm sure if you ask around now, 10 teams think they're in a good spot and that their goal is to win a championship. But in the course of a season, things come up, you know, you're figuring out how to do things, a couple losses happen, guys aren't getting the minutes they think, roles happen. So there's just, I think the way we've been doing things here and that year in Cairns when we were good, having everyone pulling in the same direction, and obviously there's friction and things happen over the course of a season, but I think the ability for everyone to kind of see the bigger picture and pull in the same direction is massive. And I think I think Scott does a great job of making sure we're on top of that, but we drive that as players here. And like when we've had years without success, it's not that guys are like, oh, I'm not trying to win games anymore. But just how you go about is different. Some guys think we should be doing this as opposed to doing this, and it just the guys aren't all pulling in the same direction in certain ways. So I think getting a group all moving in one direction as cohesively as possible is the first thing you got to tick off to have any sort of success.
It's really that balance, isn't it? I think we were talking about this last week, Jack. I think it started with the Boomers, and then I brought up like NBA super teams and stuff. Like, you can't just chuck the best talent on paper and be like, cool, job's done. I don't know, we're good here. It's all about like fitting in and finding roles, and like you said, this like you have to have that balance of everything.
Yeah, and if you watch the World Championships, like I think no one would disagree that USA was the most talented team on paper. But you have a lot of guys who are absolutely elite in their roles, and I think every team you need that, just in like from that perspective, guys who are elite at doing what they do, and you need guys who do a bunch of different things to have success.
For sure, you need guys that do the dirty work. I was gonna say, if someone asked you like what your best skill out there was, like what could you even could you pinpoint that to one thing? Like,
I think what I'm in my mind, pretty elite at is like communication and making right decisions defensively. It's a weird thing because it's not something I'd ever really thought of as a skill, but just from being around training and seeing guys play so much, I really I feel like I'm pretty active with vocally and talking to guys and being in the right spot, and I feel like that's something that just everyone does. But the more I've been around it, it's not really something that comes naturally to people and that everyone does. So I think that's one thing that I do at a pretty high level, and I think it's a reason that's carried me so far, because I'm not the best ball handler. I'm not the most athletic guy. I'm not the best shooter, but I'm working on it. But I think that's something that I can honestly look at and be like, I can do this at a high level.
Yeah, no, I think players like you, like I know it must be weird hearing me just talk about players like you, but it's fascinating to kind of actually watch games live and see all the things you do well, because it's not like you're not going to be on many, like, no offense, you're probably not going to be on many top 10s and all that stuff that people love, but if you actually tune into a game, there's like so many little things that you're like, damn, he does that well. It's just like, for a fan like me, it's actually quite enjoyable to like focus on the non-flashy and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've been on the wrong side of a couple highlight plays in my career.
Oh, we don't want to bring up the college.
There's one, but yeah, it's just something. It's a way I've found that I can, being able to keep playing at a higher and higher level growing up, and that's, I guess, something that I've found, and it's something that's valued and something I think helps win games.
For sure,
100%. It's an interesting one because it's where the Instagram critics and the Instagram coaches or the Twitter coaches really, when they don't have the day-to-day or study the game of basketball, their opinions are pretty irrelevant. And it's always funny to me when players get caught up into it. It's also what I think is the problem with media voting for votes in the NBA. And I don't know how it goes in the NBL, but in my opinion, they shouldn't have a say because they don't live, breathe the game like players and coaches do. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say, but there is something to having an outside perspective on things, because obviously we're inside of it, we see, and we can be biased about things, and so it's always a tough system.
But, so, as a rookie, it's harder to affect winning because you're trying to find your feet, your voice usually doesn't weigh as much as it does later in your career because you haven't got the knowledge, the experience, you're not as comfortable. So, Fab survived. As a rookie, as a DP, he keeps the dream alive. Now you're entering your 6th year. What's something that you focus on when it comes to winning now that maybe you didn't as a younger fella, whether it's off court, on court, but something now that you bring a focus each day or coming into the camp that you said, I'm going to do this and it will affect winning, that maybe you didn't have that when you were younger, when you were in that more survival mode showing up to camp?
It's an interesting question. Honestly, It's hard because I guess how I've always shown what I do is by coming on and like in training, doing those little things, being vocal and talking, and so I think for me, my focus has been like I've obviously tried to keep that and keep growing that in terms of my voice, and it's something still. It's a hard thing to do when you see something in training or you feel like something needs to be said in front of the group. Like it's still something I'm challenging with, but I do it a couple times. And but I think for me, my like the personal development, just in terms of like my skill set and getting better because you're right, I have kind of the way I survived was by just being a guy coaches can trust and being like, hey, Farb's in, he's not going to break off the play and do anything crazy. He's going to be in the right spot defensively. He's not going to miss an assignment. And then so now it became, well, recently it's become growing into, okay, then how do I do to, I guess, grow outside of that, like that other side of basketball, and then I guess that more flashier side, I guess, of basketball, like bringing the ball up the court, hitting open shots, being more aggressive, and that kind of stuff. So I think, growing, that's that ability to affect winning, something that I guess has always been the front of my mind and what I do when I come in every day at training.
It's a skill in itself, isn't it? I think people don't really often, and I think the trust factor that you said before probably plays a huge part in all of this. I was curious in the college stuff, like the way Jack described it before, it was almost like was the plan always to be pro afterwards, or was there other stuff on your mind?
No, honestly, the plan before even college, like I wasn't even. There was a period after high school and before going to college where I was going to be done with basketball, and so like because I was always a pretty good student and did well in school, so it was always like, well, what's the pathway going to be like for me? So I think I did my MCL at those 19 World Championships. So that was like just when I was in the middle of year 12, going into doing my HSC, those end of school exams, applying for uni, and I was like, I think, and I wasn't, obviously I did my knee, so I wasn't playing, I wasn't working out or anything. There was no really basketball for a while. So the plan, I guess, was just for a couple months was I'm not going to play basketball, but then, stuck with it and just hung around, started playing again. I think the Waratah League started up and I was enjoying that. And then I just got lucky, and then my college recruitment happened very quickly. I think the time when I started talking to the coach and had the offer was like maybe a month, if not, just because it was pretty rushed. And then got over there. Well, the coach that recruited me, actually, they ended up leaving, the assistant coach and the head coach I signed to. And so they ended up leaving, and then it was, I don't know, a new coach came in. He had no idea about me or anything at all. He didn't, I think he even told me after the first year, he was like, I honestly didn't think you looked like a basketball player. And but it was that similar thing. I came in, was just doing the right things at training every day, and then my freshman year, I was starting at the second game of the season for the first game. Coach put me in as a starter, and I held that position I think the whole year, and just kept building that role. And then basketball finished in college, and I was like, what am I going to do? Go back, get a job? But I had a couple offers to play. What's now NBL 1, and I was like, this sounds a pretty good idea. Just play basketball, get a bit of cash, get housing sorted. I'm like, I can do that for a while. And yeah, that was in Cairns, and just kind of grew from there. And I've just been loving it ever since.
Sounds like you accidentally became a pro. Just why not?
It was like, honestly, it's like kind of yes and no. And honestly, it wasn't until I think that for that DP year in Cairns, I still wasn't sure if this is something I really want to commit to. But then I think throughout that year and being in training every day, and I had a couple stints. I actually had one pretty good game. The coach, Mike, told me, I think it was against Adelaide when you were there. I think I had like 11-7 off the bench as a DP. And it was, well, I was like, I can hang around here. Like, I can make a crack at this. And I think like during that year was when I kind of committed to the idea of, let's make this work. Let's start, not start, but, that mental side, I was a lot more committed to making professional basketball work.
Yeah, no, it's a cool story. Jack, what was your first impression of Fab? when he came in?
First
Or when you faced
impression,
him?
like NBL.
Yeah, I guess just when you first met him or whatever.
Yeah, well, not to be crude, but I can't actually remember his DP year.
Yeah.
It's a survival state that you're in when you're in a young fella. You're not paying too much attention to other DPs around the league. Well, I wasn't. But then first impression really was we were hanging out after a game in Cairns in a club, just dancing to some music together, and then pretty much that was about the only interaction we had. And then I'm looking for a place by myself when I'm in Tassie. Fab's looking for a place kind of by himself, was maybe going to live with a couple other boys. And Scott Roth sent me a message saying, hey, Fab's looking for a place. I think you guys should room up. And I said, this sounds good. I did about 12 background checks to make sure he was a good guy and make sure he would be good to live with. And then I pretty much sent him a message saying, hey, I promise I'm not a shit bloke, but I think we should live together.
Literally, first message was like, hey, we should live together. I promised I'm not a shit bloke. I still remember that. I'm like, well, he definitely wouldn't say that if he was. Cause,
No doubt, yeah.
Hey, it's been true. It's been a good couple of years.
Yeah, and then we've just been hanging out ever since, 3 years later.
Facts.
That sounds like similar to, I don't know, Jack proposing me to live with him in Germany for a week or whatever. Like, I didn't really know you that well. Like, I was just like, I talked to you across the screen for a bit. You could have been anything, like, when you're face to face, but hey, you lived up to that as well. So, you stick to your word.
He does. But no, it's been great. And now I'm living in his house.
It is crazy. Well, let's jump back to the basketball, because the journey that you've accidentally fallen into by affecting winning, really. Who is someone else around the league that you think is maybe a little bit underappreciated that affects winning, that, when they're on the court, you've heard stories about the culture they bring, whatever it may be, that impresses you in that side of the ball?
Yeah, well, a couple guys, I guess, kind of spring to mind. On our team, I think one guy that I think does a great job, and I don't know if he's getting applauded, he should have last year, is Shawnee Mack. I think he's come in and, super trustworthy guy, one of our best defenders, strong, hits open shots, just run. You trust him with the ball. He's going to come off on balls and make plays for other guys, and he can make plays defensively. And just seeing him last season was really cool. And so I think he's going to have a similar impact this year, if not more so. And then from around the league, I don't know if he's underappreciated or not, but Shea Illy is someone who I'm not gonna lie. A couple years ago, maybe towards the start of last season, I was like, I didn't think I wasn't a believer, I guess. But I guess the more time you spend, when you're watching them play and you're watching film and you're going up against United, and you see, because obviously last year there's struggles with injury and being on the court, and you see the impact of him being on there and not, and like, damn, this guy is a winning basketball player. He's a good basketball player, and he's someone that I think, he's a winner.
I'm glad you said someone else besides from JackJumpers talk. Then we had to spread the love somehow.
I had to plug our boy in there, but he's someone that I really enjoy watching. I guess
he definitely screams a winner. Like, if you think about winner, like someone like Shaylee is perfect. So that's a great shout. That's a great shout.
Darren gets mad at me all the time for giving too many shout outs to JackJumpers. So he's like, so shout someone else out.
I had to still work our boys in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Spread the love.
Of course. Blitz time. We're all up in the Gold Coast. I think you guys are arriving on Friday as well. I think.
Yeah, we get there Friday. It's Friday. So. No, I'm pretty excited.
What are you? How's the team looking in training camp and stuff? Like, I don't know. Of course, you're gonna say it's looking great or whatever, but give us something. Give us an insight.
It is one, I guess, unique thing that I've never really dealt with before. I guess a lot of teams dealing with, like, the world champs and how that affected things. Like, we've had 2 training sessions with our whole squad there, and so. It's been pretty cool seeing, like, obviously we've had the month or so before that, and all those new guys getting to learn things and get to speed, and seeing the improvement and just the teamwork, I guess, as a unit, and how seeing that progression. And then like as well, like the last couple of days, we've had 2 new guys come in with Majukin Jr. And so just seeing them, getting them up to speed and helping them along and get with the process and how and like the offense and the defense and all the technicalities that we have. It's that's been an interesting challenge, but it's gone pretty quick, I guess. Season starts. We have Blitz next week, and the season starts the week after.
Yeah,
Basically, it'll be here straight away, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get back. We play. Yeah, we get back to the Friday, and we play the Friday after. I think.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's here.
Yeah.
It's time.
Season is here.
It is.
It is. It's definitely been interesting with the World Cup. Like we've had trainings with 10 guys. We've had to fly some guys in to pick up numbers because right now, like the NBL talent in Hobart isn't there. Like guys don't live here, but we've gone up north, brought in young guys because we've just needed some numbers. You know, when guys go down with a little ankle injury or a bad cork or something, you need to bring in guys, and so it's been a different mixture trying to find the balance of. We don't want to put too much in because we need these guys to come back, but then also like we got to keep processing. But it's been good. Jordan Crawford.
Oh yeah, he'll. I think he'll get a lot of fans this year. Very quickly.
He'll do some stuff. Do some stuff.
There's no doubt. Are you? So we always have to get off the JackJumpers stuff, you know, because we could talk about it all day. Is there any other teams you're particularly excited to see? An import or just a whole team as a collective? Anyone at the Blitz that you'll definitely be keeping your eye on because you're interested to watch?
Yeah, for sure. I think the Bullets are a team I want to see how they do. They got a bit of turn, a bit of new guys, and you know they've also got a couple of guys who were with us last year. I've been talking to Isaac a little bit throughout the off season, and you know Sammy Mack as well, and just to see how they go and how that's something I'm keeping an eye on. And also, I think Sydney as well. Very interesting to see how they go. Back-to-back premiers. They got a fair amount of turnover. And so, you know, new coach as well. A lot of new players. So, I'm pretty keen to see how they, you know, what they're looking like, how they're going to be, what their values, I guess, and their style of basketball is going to look like going into this season. So, I think those are 2 teams I'll definitely be watching, but you know, we're up there. We're trying to watch as much as we can, get as much as we can from every other team.
Yeah, for sure. Jack, what about you? You got anyone you're looking forward to seeing or catching up with, or anything like that?
I definitely enjoy both those team takes because I always find it fascinating watching a new coach. You know, the team, even if the roster is similar, it's a whole different environment from the way they go about trainings to their weight room coaches almost. And so you never really know what you're going to get. You could put a whole same team in, a coach comes in and the entire system changes.
Yeah, and completely different.
Yep, and so always looking forward to seeing some new coaches. Southeast is going to be a whole different team this year.
Yeah.
You know, first time in the franchise with a new coach. I saw the stat the other day that Mitch Creek is the only player remaining from the first year as a season. And so, you know, you see how crazy that turnover is with a new coach, and all those teams are always interesting for me to watch.
Yeah,
that's a good shout. I was going to say, you boys better be playing your best. I know it's Blitz, and it's just like sometimes it's just finding your stuff out, but apparently there's going to be 45 NBA scouts because of all the next stars and talent in the league right now. So that just sounds crazy to me, like 45 of them, but that's what they tell me. So,
but well, it shows, I guess, the way the league's been going, and there's been a couple of guys who have made that jump, and
well, hopefully,
they'll be watching some JackJumpers game. If they want to see some 6'8" unathletic centers,
that's what I was about to say.
Go to work and wrestling.
Some winning behavior. You know, that early split line talk. You know, defensive communication and
great shows on balls.
Yeah. Come to the JackJumpers.
That's it.
I think 6'7" or whatever you said, unathletic centers is what they're trying to find.
That's what they're looking for, I heard. That's what gets it done in the NBA these days.
Yeah. That's what it's about. All right, I'm going to ask you some really, because you guys are housemates, I'm going to make you say each other's best habit and worst habit. But you got to be honest there. That's what I'm going to ask of you. I feel like it would be rude not to. It's the most obvious thing to ask, but
best habit and worst habit. That's put us both on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking it.
Best habit for me is I love Fab singing. So he'd be singing crazy these songs he knows. But you know when people be singing, they'd be like mumbling some words and stuff, and it's kind of frustrating. Fab knows every word to every song. He'd be singing it. I love it every time.
What type of music are you singing?
I honestly I feel like I got a pretty decent range. I've listened to a lot, but I think the specialty's got to be like that old 60s, 70s, 80s rock. You know, Dad did a lot of driving with me for basketball, and there was one radio station we listened to. It was 101.7 WSFM, Good Times and Great Classic Hits. So I've got a lot of that's my I guess my specialty.
Give us some. It sounds like exactly what my dad is into.
Give us
some names.
Some names. Queen, AC/DC.
Like Def Leppard.
Not massive Def Leppard. I've only got no bit of Pour Some Sugar on me. But that's about it.
I'm just shouting these out because I know my dad will be listening. So hey, he'll be
loving
it.
Hey, no, shout out to those guys. But fair few of the rock classics, I guess. Got them locked in.
Nice.
But whatever comes up, I like to sing along to. So
there you go.
And Jack's best habit. I don't know if I think I don't know how to sum it up, but I feel like his organization and his good habits around the house. Okay. So I guess every morning I see Jack, he's got his smoothie and he sits on the table with his notebook a little bit before training. He gets his stuff done and he's running a lot of stuff. You know, he's doing his social media content while I'm sitting on the couch playing PlayStation and singing. So, but no, I feel like Jack's got a lot of good habits and pretty organized man to be living with.
He's well-structured.
If you're listening and not watching right now, I'm blushing profusely. The bad habit. I do have one. Oh, what is it? We're about to confront him, but it's not a bad habit anymore. But when I first moved in with him, it was definitely like confronting. Not in like, oh, this is the worst, but like, whoa, it's the first time in my life that I'd ever lived with a coffee drinker. And so Fab makes his coffee every morning, and like at first, like for the first month, it was like, whoa, that's a strong smell that isn't pleasant. And obviously now...
Not pleasant.
Yeah, at first, I'd never smelt it. None of my parents drink it. No one I'd ever lived with drank coffee. When now, you know, I don't even notice the smell. But at first, maybe the first week or so, I was like, wow, like that's a strong smell.
He says he doesn't notice the smell, but the other week... Because I'm usually, I get up, we leave the house a bit after 7. I try to be up at like 6:15. The other week, Jack messaged me at like 7 a.m. like, are you all good? I was still asleep. He's like, I didn't smell any coffee. And I was like, is Bob sick? And I just fell back asleep after my alarm. I was like, oh my gosh, we got 10 minutes to get ready.
I didn't smell any coffee.
He didn't smell the coffee, and it was.
I was stressed. Yeah, I was definitely 7 o'clock because he might have been,
He thought I was sick.
Yeah, I was like, Fab's got to be feeling unwell right now because he hasn't got his coffee and he's not up and about.
Cool. Yeah. So there's plenty of worse habits you can have. So that was a pretty good answer. But have you got a about Jack?
I feel like that was a bit of a cop-out answer.
Never.
That's all right. It was leading somewhere.
Yeah. Jack's worst habit.
I smell bad.
Give the people what they want.
I'll have another bit of a cop-out one, but because I've dealt with it today.
Okay.
Sometimes he's not the quickest with his getting his laundry out of the dryer.
That's so true. I'm useless.
So yeah, I've had to deal with that today. But
Fab definitely always gets it out of the dryer for me. I don't think I've ever opened the dryer in my life.
But it gets done.
As long
too
as
busy doing all this other stuff.
You're right. It's funny because I always tell myself, damn, I got to set an alarm. Like, you know, because I just forget about it. All of a sudden it'll be the next morning. I'll be like, shit, my training clothes. Quickly chuck them in the dryer before training. But Fab looks after me.
Yeah.
I was trying to get some juicy things there, but they were pretty tame. So you guys must be both pretty good people to live with.
Honestly, this is our 3rd year going into living with each other, so
true. That speaks for itself.
If there are I think that tells there's not a lot of bad habits that
Yeah.
stand out. We put up with each other pretty well.
I don't know what I was experiencing in Germany because you were annoying as hell. But no, I'm kidding. You were good. I was trying to think of what I'd answer that with, but don't know. I had no issues with you. You hosted me. You cooked me breakfast on my first morning there, so no complaints.
No, he gave the same treatment. He gave you half his bed. He gave me half his bed when I was there with him as well.
The bed, yeah.
Great
guy.
person to be living with.
Oh, stop it. I need to bring my friends on this podcast.
Just bring your housemates. All right. Have you got anything else? Otherwise, it's time for a bit of NBL trivia. That's what we're going to end this show with. Some
NBL
trivia. I'm taking points. There's a mixed bag in there. There was a few questions in there that I was thinking of today, and I'm like, I'm pretty happy with myself here. So,
Wait, 1 second. We got to get rules down.
Yeah.
Rules.
True.
Are there minus points for an incorrect answer?
Oh, I didn't think about that one. I'm gonna say
No.
no.
I'm happy to.
If you don't know it. Okay, are we doing hand raise so we don't just start screaming? First one to raise their hand.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Yep. Hand
So you're
raised and
judging
then-
that, Darren.
Yeah, okay, I'll do my best here. I was going to say that it doesn't even matter about the lag because you're clearly in the same room, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
we're good.
All right, I'm going to tell him up at the end. I don't know what the winner gets, but it doesn't matter. Who
We'll
cares?
figure it out.
Prime.
Winner gets
Cool.
the win. Because we like competing enough.
Yeah.
Fab's a known winner as well. Jack, you're as well, but this is
Not
your,
as much
this
as
is your
Fab.
money time.
No.
All right,
Yeah.
number one. Who's number 13 in Tassie? Fab.
Sean McDonald.
Well done. Actually, I should take. I have to keep a tally here.
So I need you guys to know some background information. This was actually my idea because Fav is a trivia king. So I was like, how can I make my boy Fav look good? I'm going to try my very best, but if I get pooped on right now, don't be surprised, everyone.
You know, we started doing some trivia in the office, and it just makes me feel so shit every time. Like I literally just get nothing, and I'm like, just give me some basketball questions, not this random facts. Anyway,
So I do love some good trivia. But
Go
Fav
for
is actually the best Croatian trivia master in Tasmania that we know of.
well, we haven't tested Dream though.
You better.
Yeah,
there you go. So I'm just gonna keep talking before we keep going on about the quiz, but I'm happy to say I'm sort of part Croatian now because that's where I proposed in Croatia. So
There you
does that
go.
count? Does that
There
count?
you go.
Sure, why not?
That's awesome.
All right, number 2. Sticking on the same theme, what number is Bryce Cotton? Damn, boys. This guy's the-
What do you think of a number?
Oh, I'll just shoot a shot. There's no
Yeah.
way it's right, though. 41?
No way, no.
No.
I was
Damn,
thinking.
Bryce Cotton's number doesn't stick out to you?
11.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
Yes!
I was gonna say
I
one. I
knew-
was thinking one.
Do I get that 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. One all.
I had plenty of chance to answer.
Very good, very
I
good.
literally, you know what's crazy is I was editing a photo of him today. So that's not the best work by me.
You went 41. What a shocking number.
You're
Anyway,
thinking Dirk comparisons.
Yeah.
all right, 3. This is classic trivia, but oh no, wait, sorry. Sticking on the Cotton theme. If you didn't know what number he is, you won't know this one. But what number season is Cotton going into?
Ooh. I'll say. Wait, in the NBL?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, NBL. Yep.
Oh, I want to say 8.
Yeah, Fab 8.
Oh, you're good, Bob. You're good.
Yeah.
That surprised me. Like 8 years down here. I don't know. I didn't know
Wow,
what I
that's
was
a lot.
thinking.
Yeah, well, I don't know why, but I was pretty sure it was 16, 17 was his first year.
There you go.
That was 2 years before us.
That's very good by you, actually. I thought that one would take a while. I don't know how you guessed that over which number he is. but-
I don't know how I did it either.
Classic one. When was the NBL formed? Like founded?
79?
Yep, Fab, jeez.
That was nice, Bob. That was nice.
That was nice. Name the Cairns Taipan's next star.
Taron Armstrong? Wait.
I don't think he's...
No, he's not there. It's
Is it?
Bobby Clintman.
Yes.
Sorry,
yes,
yeah.
it is. Oh,
Yeah.
you got me. You had me thinking there. I'm like, I don't think Taron...
No, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
that was
You're right.
nice,
Yeah,
that was
sorry.
nice.
My fault.
Jack, you're looking at a 4-1 deficit here.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I got one. I'm pretty happy about it. You know?
I've got one. All right. Some more history stuff. What was the highest points per game average in the NBL history? You can get 2 points. If you can name the number, which you'll eventually get to, but you can also name the person. But
The
Jack,
person's got to be game.
Yeah. It's 53.
it is not. Keep guessing. This is an average for the season.
43.
No.
38.
No, that's just 2-second guess.
What was
46.
No. Very
Who
close.
gets the point? By the way, who gets the
Yeah, I
point
don't
for
know.
Gaze?
Fab, you shouted out Gaze, but it was
No, we knew it was Gaze.
Yeah.
There's no one else.
Oh,
No one
I'm
else.
happy to
No, there was one season he just went absolutely bananas.
It's close. You're very close to what you're saying.
41.
I don't think any of you said it. No. Keep going.
48.
No.
It was in the 40s. Yeah.
44.
Yeah, 44. Very good.
Oh, first guess. Yeah, edit that one. Edit that one.
Edit that out.
No, it's 42, 43.
Was it 53?
53, I don't know. I remember it being so crazy.
That's good.
You should check the box scores from. It's wild.
Yeah.
Sounds stupid. Most points ever in a game in the NBL.
Yo.
In the 70s. Yup, 74.
No.
76.
No.
78.
Did someone say 71?
No!
Very good.
Oh, no! I shouldn't have said it. We needed a silent one for that one.
Yeah.
That's alright, that's alright.
You got the 70s. I think it's going to be maybe half.
Yeah, I'll take
You
half.
want to take half?
I'll give him a half.
I
You
like
said
it.
70s.
Yeah, true. You're a team player. All right.
Yeah,
nice.
have to be.
Well done, Jack. You're on 2.5.
31 point.
Yeah, definitely.
That's alright.
Oh, you're 1.5. Didn't you get
Yeah.
Andrew Gazer?
No,
I said
he
gay,
said
but I
gay,
was
but
happy.
yeah.
We both knew it was gay.
Yeah, but no, I'm not taking a point for that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, 1.5. Great job. All right. Oh, hang on. Where am I? All right. That was Al Green with 71, in case anyone's wondering.
That's
Adelaide 36er.
Yeah.
That's it. Most assists ever in a game?
21.
No. Close.
23.
No.
22.
No.
20.
Nope.
25.
Nope.
It's not above 20? 19.
It is, but I don't think you named one digit there.
26.
No.
24.
Yeah, 24. Welcome back to the game.
This is just someone throwing out random guesses. The NBL stat man on the Twitter it'd be so disappointed.
24 is
right now.
crazy.
Yeah,
I think
at the bare minimum 48 points.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, any ideas who that was, by the way? Current, he's still...
Really?
No. He's still around, like he's still in the game in some capacity. If that gives you any clues. He talks a bit.
Yeah.
What's going on? Behind the scenes chatter.
Yeah.
Commentator, not a more like sideline commentary.
Yeah, in Brisbane.
Yeah.
At Brisbane.
Yeah, Derek Rucker.
Yeah, I know. I've just forgotten his name. So can't edit that, but I know who it is. I can picture his face at Brisbane.
I'm giving you a point. It's Derek Rucker.
Yeah. There you go. He still does. Yeah, he would be working people out in Brisbane.
All right, moving away from the history because I feel like I just copped out with trivia that. But
like it.
where was the Blitz 2 seasons ago?
Tasmania.
Yep.
Come on, give me that point. Woo!
I thought I'd throw you off there. I think it was, right? Because it was
Yep.
Darwin last year, then 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and
Tasmania.
then 2 seasons in a row in Tasmania.
Oh, okay.
Was
I don't
that
know.
was that
Remember, all the
two
teams came down here and they're up north for ages.
Yeah, I remember all the teams were here, but was that 2 seasons ago?
Yep.
Fuck,
And the year
trying to
before.
get the...
I thought it was more than 2 seasons ago.
I actually had to think about it, but then I couldn't think about where it was.
There
Like,
wasn't
if
a
it
Blitz
wasn't
2
Tassie.
seasons ago, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the 2 before
Well,
that
technically speaking, yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
The Blitz before Darwin. Yeah,
Well, yeah, the
Was
last 2 before that were both in Tassie.
yeah, but yeah.
Jack celebrated hard. So.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Yep.
All right, I got creative with these last few.
Mm-hmm.
Name an import returning to the league but playing for a different team this season.
Jacob Wiley.
No, Ian Clark.
Yeah, sorry, I meant like
Wiley's
yeah,
the same team.
Same team. Good talk.
Yeah. And I did. I should have said like I meant from last season as well. But Ian Clark was one I had, and DJ Hogue as well.
DJ
good,
Hogue
very
as well.
good.
Wow, nice. Damn. Good one.
My most creative one yet. I might have to repeat this question because it's a bit confusing. But so the idea is you have to name these 2 players, and the criteria is So one played for Tassie last season and then joined a team this off-season in which another player of that team has now joined Tasmania.
What, Matt
Does
Kenny
that
and
make
Junior?
sense? Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Damn it, I thought that might make you... Yeah, fair enough. Great job.
Got it.
Fair enough. Have you kept a score? Is that it?
Well, I'm afraid there's one more, but...
Yeah, worth 20 points.
Yes. So, the last question is, who was the first Jack Jumper ever to get signed in history?
Sam McDaniel. Oh,
That's right. That's a good one.
And you know, I didn't actually know the technical answer, so...
You're right, because it could be Sardines.
That's what I actually thought it might be.
Yeah. Sardines, I think, technically was the first.
Yeah.
Sam was the first rostered.
Yeah. And got the first bucket.
Yeah.
Trick one. What's Fab? The Fab one, but hey, I'll count anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4.
A lot of shots in the dark, but we take them.
Yeah. You got to shoot.
You gotta shoot
to score.
You're a winner.
He's a winner. That's the theme of this episode. Fab the winner.
I like it. It's good. That's the theme I can get around.
Point proven. Well,
Yeah.
if you're wondering, it was 7.5 to 4.5. So
You could rally late. Well, actually, is that including the 20 points at the end?
unfortunately not.
That was a joke.
Yeah, great job. I hope you enjoyed that. Tried my best, but yeah.
No,
that's
it's
all I have
great.
for you.
First time being
I love that.
Yeah. Look, a host of a. I wonder how everyone listening went. Let us know.
Yeah. True. I'm sure you beat us on some of the questions. Yeah.
True. That's a wrap.
That's a
Thanks
wrap.
for joining us. Take us out, Jack.
Well, everybody, thank you very much for listening, but a special shout out and thank you to Fabijan for coming onto the show, talking about winning, all the good stuff. Fab, one last question that I've stolen from Tim Ferriss, but I love asking people if there was going to be a billboard, what would you put on it? The whole world would drive past this billboard. What are you putting on it?
Is it any billboard about anything?
About anything. What's the
God.
slogan? What are you putting on it? What are the words?
That's crazy.
Crazy. I'm putting him on the spot. What did Benny Ayre say? He said, live, laugh, love or something.
Laugh, love.
Yeah.
No. If it's on the side of the road, it's probably drive faster because I'll be behind you in my go-kart. Going crazy.
Okay. You know, on that topic, you know who I actually thought of when I was trying to describe your game. It reminded me of something that Kyle Bowen said from Melbourne United. He said, I asked him the same question one time, and I'm like, describe your game, and he was like, it's gritty, not pretty. So that's a pretty good billboard.
Wow, I might just start stealing that.
That's nice.
But we're trying to
I
make
loved
it.
it.
We're trying to get some pretty in there.
Yeah, we are trying to get some pretty in there, and it's happening. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for listening, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, Fab, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're a real winner. That's what you are.